This is a miniature that I sculpted, and today we get to make copies of it. We get to mold and cast. Well, I mean, hopefully, if all goes to plan. This is a technique I've only really seen pictures of. So I'm really hoping this works. Under usual circumstances, this model would be difficult to cast because there's so many overhanging parts, like this chin, this nose, these ears. It's a total trap for bubbles. Oh boy, okay, I'm really butchering you here. I'm really sorry, mate. Right. I've only seen pictures of this. The idea is that we have a big sprue, and that sprue connects to the bottom of the model. Then we have little air spouts at the top. And we fill resin from here, and that fills up. And while that's filling up here, it's filling up down here and the bottom of the model. The more we add here, the more adds over here and here and here and here and here. So the idea is it's filling up from the bottom using the pressure of this, push resin through the top, push the air out. Bob's your uncle, in theory. In theory. So now we actually need to put this into practice. Thankfully, I did myself a bit of a favor while I was sculpting this model. The head is actually a separate piece. I don't know if that will actually be helpful or not, in all honesty, but good for kit bashing later. So we need to make a sprue. Maybe we use actual sprue. We're experimenting. Ultimately, this is pretty low stakes, but I do like to make mistakes for you, so your experience is going to be a bit easier than mine. My brain's ticking. You know, for whatever reason, I've convinced myself that just committing to this process is the solution. I'm gonna regret not planning this later, I bet, but for now, we're just gonna keep moving. You know, in hindsight, I probably should have worked out where I'm gonna put this head. I could put it up here. It would have been best to put it here, right? Can I still do that? Let's just commit. Let's do it. Why not? This is where we're at the moment. The head is attached to the base. Resin comes down here and starts filling up. It will fill up that ear from the base. It will fill up the neck, and then it'll go all the way up and get stuck. There will be a big air bubble here, so we need like a little bit of brass tube. Okay. So you gotta get that on the tip of the ear like that, and be able to get it to hold. Bit of super glue, bicarb. That is a connection. A bit of short-sightedness. Air is definitely going to get trapped in these knuckles. When the resin flows from the top, air bubbles, 100%. This next step that I'm going to do, this is what I learned from Curtis from Ramshackle Games. Curtis is so focused on his impact that he has on his environment and what he produces out of his workshop that he transforms. Actually, I have some examples. These are beautiful models sculpted by Chob Miniatures. These kind of old school looking orcs. Very cool, right? But the sprues are made to be reused. These are like little terrain pieces, little barricades. I want to do the same with my troll, and that way I can kind of reduce as much waste as possible. Because if you're going to be making lots of something, you should make it right. Okay, so I don't entirely understand the logic, but my instinct is telling me that this side should be about equal to the mass of this side. And that's sometimes all we can do when we're not super smart. Okay, I've got this vaguely orky looking structure here I could use as like a barricade. Now we're gonna let this dry really well. Okay. And now I'm just gluing it upside down onto a base, ready to cast. So I like to use tape as opposed to like using hot glue, because I think the result is kind of clean. My camera cut out then, but I made a bloody box. You can make a box. That being said, you should cover your cardboard box in lots and lots of tape, because we're using Moldmax 29 NV. The NV stands for no vac, which means it's a very, 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 very low viscosity silicone, and it will escape any crack or crevice. It will work its way out. So, lots of tape. Now remember, we're not using any equipment. That's why we got low viscosity silicone. It is incredibly easy to waste silicone making big models, because any little bit of extra room you have in your box is multiplied by so much, and you end up using so much more silicone than you'd need to. Anyway, I didn't have enough silicone. So I had to rise the silicone surface level with sacrificial mold chunks in the corners, and I ended up squeezing the box together with a clamp. It'll be fine. I mean, it's gotta be. 7 hours later, as far as mold making goes, this is incredibly poor form, but we also got the job done. Now this process is kind of destructive, but we want to break this off the sprue when it's on. Essentially, I'm trying to cut the model out and cut through all the silicone between all the little holes in the model and the sprue. This is quite a tough silicone, and there's a lot of it, so this is very hard on my hands. So that's why you're filming, Rachel. So I'm trying to work my way down to the very bottom of the sprue. We're making some progress. Okay. We're nearly there. We can nearly see some of the sprue, some of the base. Okay. That guy's released. We made a little sprue from here to here and I've cut straight past it, but that's, you know, that happens. We can just cut through it gently until we find that ear section. Oh, what a messy mold. Very messy boys today. But I'm feeling good. Okay, so we need to leave our silicone to off gas because there's still a chemical reaction happening. If we immediately cast with it, it's going to be bad news. So, I need to shake this really well and then leave it. So overnight the bubbles will rise to the top and pop, and then we'll have mixed resin, bubble free. See you in the morning. Good morning. Today's the day. I've run out of paper cups, so I'm recycling this. So the idea is that we're going to pour it in this hole and it's going to come out here. Yes, 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 okay. Look. Look. There it is. From there to there. God, I'm stoked. Oh, man. Okay. Oh, yeah. Cool. Okay. Anyway, let's fill up the other mold real quick. Let's do it. Okay. Alright, okay. How'd we go? Oh god. Oh, I mean, that's not bad. I've got some bubbles in the top of the fist, big bubble in the neck, in the eye, but honestly, I think it's pretty good. Let's see if we can do this better. So I've done 5 casts. I can't get exactly what I want. I have an incredibly cursed idea about this idea comes from how they used to make lead miniatures at home back in the day. I think that did not work at all. Man, I'm so optimistic. Real talk. This is where we're at the moment. I have a whole collection, a whole bloody collection of casts. Out of that, I have one very nice cast. This is bloody clean for no pressure pot, no vacuum chamber. That's lovely, but not every single one of these casts is like that because of a whole bunch of circumstances, like the orientation, which I pour the resin, which how I angle it, how I roll it around, how fast I work, how fast I move. Ultimately, in every single one of these casts, there's a whole bunch of different flaws. But you know what? You know what we do? Instead of dwelling on it, instead of chasing the perfect cast, instead of spending more money, we're just gonna get on with it. We're gonna clean these up, fill some of the holes, and be proud of our efforts so far. Even though this would have totally been better if I just orientated it this way in the mold, I would have solved all these problems. But that's hindsight, next time. But for now, let's get on with it. So I need your opinion. These are all models that I cast. I've fixed up all the little hand bubbles and made them paintable, and I've primed one of them. And the prime hides the flaws, but is that cool? I don't know. I don't know if it's better to have this or have the ones that have the marks on them to show that they were once flawed, they've been fixed, and now I'm giving them to whoever receives them. I don't know. You know, despite being very happy with the results, actually really, really happy. For no equipment, this is bloody awesome. Also made a whole section of terrain using the sprues. This is really great, but that spinning garbage, I think there's something there. So I'm gonna spend like just an hour today. This is brass tube, and I think I can actually use it to cut some new channels into where I'm getting bubbles. See, I poke the rod through the silicone from my entry point to my exit point, and then that cuts a little channel through it. See, there's a little bit of silicone from that, and now I splice that in half. That might do bugger all, it might do a lot, I don't know. Alright, let's send it, mate. Okay, now this mold, this will absolutely not cast without any equipment. So that's why I want to try and spin it around really fast. So either resin's flying out when I spin it around, or it's actually working its way down to the bottom of the mold. Look, our little airports, they all worked. And now our knuckles are bubble free. That's awesome! Okay, so now we can fix that in the future. I'm hopeful. Oh, no way! No way! Oh, the resin's still a little bit soft, but that's awesome.
Oh, man. Oh, man. See you next time. Hello, post-editing Trent here, with a final thought and clarification. This miniature, the reason why it's so bloody exciting that this was able to be cast with no equipment and pretty minimal bubbles, honestly. This miniature has given me so much trouble, even with my equipment, my pressure pot, my vacuum chamber. This is very, very cool. Because these spindly legs, the spindly antlers, spindly dagger, it gives me so much bloody trouble. Every single time I try to cast it, I've basically stopped doing it. And I don't know if it's super practical spinning around resin in a backyard, or whether it's necessarily safe. I don't really know, but for someone out there, this might be the start of a good idea for the indie miniature making scene. Or maybe I should explore it further. I don't know. Let me know. But you're the best. I'll see you. Goodbye for real this time. Bye.